Alright guys, welcome back. Okay, so this is crazy. This is gonna be a crazy replay. Because this guy ends up breaking my board. Like, this is one of the biggest issues I had like way back when I would try to set up the formula Synchron play. Like just try to twist them on their turn, or just try to do a quick synchro on their turn. Because Cyber Dragon is a machine, so you can contact fuse with all of your setup. With formula Synchron is a machine. So like he can just like anything, so you're kind of forced to do the trish there when you didn't really want to do it there. I mean, and then now Cyber Dragon is still they're still pretty competent to in what they do, right? Do you see how crazy that Desires was? Desires gave me the damn the Doppel warrior. That's crazy. Okay, so this is what I mean. Okay, I pass, and he's like, well, shit. He draws. I'm like, I've never really lost the minute I was, even if I end up on like Crystal Wing and Omega, or Crystal Wing and Dragster and like a few back row, I've never really lost that setup because it was just kind of hard to play through, you know? Because like if you know what to negate at the right time, it just becomes really I guess discouraging for your opponent. But look what he does. Look what he does first. Look, check it out. Look. He kaijus my Omega, because at first I used the Omega. That's not like what the Omega, because if you banish stuff you don't really want to banish with Desires, Omega can return the banish even if it's face down, because it returns a banished card. So you can return a banished anything banished off Desires, right? So let's say you banished I don't know, like a Mare or like a junk that you want to return to your graveyard, so you can like pot an adversary back. You can. And that's what like. So he kaijus that. I'm like, why did he kaiju Omega? Like, wouldn't he kaiju the Crystal Wing or the Dragster? Like, that makes no sense. And then I was like, wait a second. He played this is Cyber Dragon. So then he summons a Cyber Dragon. I'm like, oh my god, look at this. That's a machine. That's a machine. I didn't even know this guy was a machine. I forgot. That completely like skipped my freaking radar. Like, this is the machine. It's a freaking flower. What the fuck? So I'm like, okay, there goes my entire field. And I think I'm just gonna go TK. So then he goes, okay, that's fine. Summon's fine. And I already know what to expect. He just contacts, right? But I'm like, which one though? Which one? You know, so he contacts with this one, right? So I'm like, well, no Crystal Wing. I'm like, well, crap. Okay. That's kind of odd. I'm like, you have to have a Cyber Dragon, because then that's why you do that. And then I'm like, I think I'm gonna get OTK'd, and then I see that, I'm like, oh my god. So it's like the Rhoda. He activates Rhoda. Adds this guy. It's like a Butter Spy for the deck. If a Cyber Dragon is summoned, you can special him from your hand, which is like an extender type of thing. And then he goes summons that. I mean, at least he didn't open up core. That was like, at least he didn't open up core, because either way I have Imperm and I have double Imperm, Call of the Grave, and I had Twisters. Okay, so I go ahead. He goes and he contacts. I'm like, oh my god, this is my worst nightmare. This is like the one thing that is hella old school, but it's like it's so relevant because it's like a lot of pretty decent machines right now. He contacts with my entire field, and I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? Then he goes Reborn, and I'm like, okay. I had to reread it because I ended up saying target. But this card doesn't target, so like I ended up banishing his Cyber Dragon because it's the biggest one, right? So I'm like, let me just fast forward that, and then I just banish it, right? And then I let him know that you can still summon, it just because it doesn't target, so I let him do that. And I'm like, oh my god. So then I ended up impriming this guy because he was just blowing up my back row, so I did not want it to happen, because like I could imperm one of the guys, right? I could imperm this guy, the Chimeric Fortress Dragon, to make it 0. So I'll still leave, so it'll give me a fighting chance if I draw something, right? But it's kind of the odds could be kind of slim, because 2 junks are engraved. One of my junks is banished. What? Yeah, one of my junks is banished. So all junks are gone. So like, there's nothing I can possibly do. Like, there's literally nothing. Like, the only way I can do something is if I use Omega's effect to recycle and try to do something up there. So then he goes. Then he goes, okay. And asks for the attacks, and he goes battle phase. I'm like, hell no, fuck that guy. That guy's a fucking 0 now. Then he goes 0. And then he texts for the rest because at 42 and then 24, I'm like, oh my god, I'm alive. I'm alive. And then he just 14. And then he ends his turn, and I'm like, what can I possibly draw? What can I draw? And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. But then I remember, wait the fuck am I? This is useless. This can't do anything. Look at that. Both junks, all my synchrons are engraved. There's nothing I can search. But then that's when I remember Omega. Omega. And then I go for it. 42. I'm gonna fast forward this place. I used the Dark Ruler just to like I don't even know. I didn't even need to use it because I like in hindsight I was like, yeah, I'll just make him 0, then try to like make a body and pass. But then at this moment when I pitched for Jet, that's when I realized, oh wait, I can use Omega return the junk, and then make my tuning live, and then I have a Korean guy next play. I was like, oh my god, that's so dumb. There's no point in me wasting the Dark Ruler no more. Like there's no point because I was just gonna go for a Korean guy next place anyways. So that's why I did this play, because I completely forgot that Omega can do that. So I was like, okay, let's go. So then you go fast forward, and then trying to figure out the sequence here, because I was like, oh, I play Yazi, and I was like, please don't ban his memory. And dude, every single time, like this is the curse, right? Like I have this thing where I feel the card I'm gonna draw, or I feel the card I'm gonna mill, and it's always that freaking card. I'm like, don't mill Aris, and I fucking mill Aris. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like a double-edged sword, man. That's what happens when you believe so much. Okay, so then I go ahead and I'm trying to sequence my. I could have easily taken Korean guy direct, but I was like, I'm pretty sure I have another play because I need to make sure I end on some sort of the gate, because I don't want to like top deck something, and you know. So this is what I mean. You see what I mean? Go ahead. The memory. This is what I like with memory. Yazi, look at that. Boom, got rid of both. Finish everything. Attack. And then I end on a Herald. And I'm like, if this card wasn't here, I would have lost. If Herald was not here, I would have straight up lost. I would have lost. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have lost, but like, because this guy floats. But like, I'm not sure how strong that one Chimera attack would be. You know? If you make another Rampage, it'll be able to attack 3 times, right? Pretty sure, most likely. And I would have lost. So luckily, this little guy Herald. Oh my! Well, I'm not sure if he could even do that. Yeah, the Herald saved me. The Herald was just amazing. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be like such a close game, because all he needs to do is top deck something. Just top deck any monster, and he tops it the wrong one. And I'm like, oh god, I almost fucking lost after he broke my board. Let me go and show you the deck list. Okay, so here's the deck list. Okay, so if you saw the previous video, you know that I was going up to 50. So all I did was basically cut all the hand traps. I cut the ashes, the veilers, because I was drawing way too many the deck was kind of confused. I was like, what do I want to do? Do I want to combo off, or do you want to fucking stop them? And it makes it inconsistent to the point where you can't have both. You can't have this and interactions, because that's like a lot. It's like strenuous. I mean, of course, it can work. Of course, it can, because you can just play triple Astro Veiler and then like stop them, and then potentially top deck this in the right scenario. But like the fact that you added the servants and the junk forwards, you kind of want to see these cards more with them, paired with them, than the Ash and stuff. You know, because like if you open up this and this with like Ash and Veiler, you can still do the speeder play, because like what you do is special this, summon the Veiler, make a make a Axel Synchron, right? And then send the junk, and then make it level 2, and then you make speeder that way. But like if you draw Ash, this and that, like you can't really do anything. You would do go into a charge warrior or a dragster, you know, I mean that's cool, but like I just felt like I wanted you just to like minimize the chances of me opening that scenario, because the main one you want to like, all you want to do is make sure you live and get rid of back row. So that's what this is for. Like you just top deck this if you go second, right? If you go second, this is what this is for. And if you go first, your deck should be consistent enough to open up this regularly, right? And do the speeder play regularly, right? That's the whole purpose of it. And then I ended up keeping of the impermanence because they don't lose the Call by the Grave, and they're good going first or second. Like if you top deck it, you can stop a window, you can stop an Omni Negate. Like if there's something on board that negates something, you just activate it, which is what I really liked. But I keep going back and forth on this because there's a lot of times where I have this and Converter, and I'm like, oh, I wish that was a tuner or like a hand trap so I could just discard it, and you know. But I think this will win you more games than lose you games, because like it's like a multi-purpose card. You can shut down a floodgate if you can somehow like block and live and set it under the column to ensure that the following turn, if you use it, it'll be locked down and you're guaranteed to basically win. And that's why I ended up keeping permanent because there's a lot of times where I had to call by the Grave and Ash, and I had an Ash, and I'm like, oh, this is so annoying. I can't even use my Ash anymore. So that was like the big dilemma I was in. I was like, I want to play hand traps, but like, I don't know. But this so far, this build going out to 44, it makes it a little bit more consistent. Of course, you run the risk of vanishing your one-offs, but like I said, even then, you can still like synchro climb through Shaman and Metal Marcher and try to get to it. So you don't always have to get the speeder to get to the level 2 that you need normally. You know, you can find a way around it. So I was like, okay, it kind of eased my mind. I guess I can do it that way. But yeah, I'm really liking the Yugioh because it gives you a consistency piece if you open up this and this, because it gives you a play going second, right? If you Twisters, or if you Dark Lune or more, pop a back row and then float, you know, and that's really cool. So you can just do that and then go into Mare, right? Yugioh, Mare into Excel will send, you know, and then you just start climbing from there. Cause like you can make a Shaman, and if you have these in your hand, right, then you can just summon these from your hand, which is pretty cool. But the one card that keeps coming up is Satellite Warrior. Like that card, that always comes up. Like it's like so many ways I don't have the end phase Charge Warrior anymore. Like it's so annoying. But like I don't know, it just seems pretty cool. But that's gonna be it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for watching.